Yo, hello, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Thomas Ryan, and this is Comics 101. This is where we talk about the ins, the outs, the ups, the downs, the oh my gods of the indie comic book space. And I am here to just guide you through my story, guide you through the mistakes I made so you don't have to make the same mistakes yourself. So today, you're in for a treat because today we're going to go over the 12 things that you need to be able to make a comic book, and I'm sure that there's a bunch of them that you probably don't expect. There's some things on here that you probably wouldn't think of, but they are very important to you making a comic book. So let's get into it. So number one, I think that would be kind of obvious, is that you need desire. You need desire, and not just the plain, just okay, I want to make a comic book desire, but it has to be a very deep and burning desire to make comic books. Not because it's cool, not because you've seen something and you want to just take your idea and put it out there. If you want to do it seriously, you need a burning desire, because in the long term, when it gets serious and you start spending money, there's actually a lot of disappointment in this space. And I'm just here to be real. Especially in your early days when you're first starting out, there's a lot of disappointment to be had. So having a burning desire, saying I really love doing this, I really want to do this, and I really want to accomplish this for myself, is very important. So desire is number one. Number two, you're gonna need an idea, right? You're gonna need more than one idea, but you're gonna need an idea to start. And I'm not talking about a fleshed out idea. I'm not talking about the ins, the outs, the ups and downs. I'm not saying that. I'm saying an idea, like, I want to make something about this. That's very important, because if you have no idea, then it's gonna make it kind of hard to get started without an idea. So you need an idea, and you need actually a good amount of ideas, because a lot of times I don't even take the first idea that I have. So yeah, but you need an idea to start. Okay, you need to understand story format. For number three, you need to understand story format. And what that means is story have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And the beats of a story, there's certain things that should happen at each point within that time frame of a story: the beginning, the middle, and the end. So you need to at least understand story format to be able to create a good story that people want to read and want to continue reading for decades and years, going on forever. So understanding story format is number three. Number four, you need knowledge of how to write a script. When I first started, I had no idea how to write a script. I wrote everything in prose, and I thought, okay, I could just give this to somebody to draw, because I'm just a writer. I can just give this to somebody to draw, and it'll be all fine. But that's a false. It's not how it works. When you're writing a comic book script, if you're not doing all the work yourself, if you're not coloring, writing, doing the line work, doing the lettering yourself, then you're writing for about 3 to 4 different people, and those people are looking for different things from you. And if you are not giving them what they need, then you will have a hard time making your script. So having the knowledge of what to do when writing a story script is extremely important. So for number five is very important, because number five is patience. Patience is extremely important. You have to think of making a comic book just like running any business, just like doing anything that you want to be successful at. It's a marathon, man. You're not going to make a comic book tonight and put it out tomorrow. That's just not how it goes. Art takes time. Writings take time. Every part of this process takes time. It averages me about 3 to 4 months to get a comic book out in total in this entirety. So yeah, and it just takes patience. Also, you got to understand too that your audience may not resonate with everything that you put out. So you may put something out that you think, hey, this is great, and your audience says, no, this is crap, and you just kind of have to deal with that. And with that said, number 6 is extremely important. Number 6, you're gonna need thick skin. You're gonna need to be able to take critiques, take criticism on your work. That's how we get better. If everybody tells you that everything you do is good and is great and that they love it, you will never grow. You will never get better. You will stay the same, because you think that everything that you're doing is awesome. You think you're growing, but you're not. You're just staying the same. You need to have thick skin to be able to create comic books and create successful comic books, and to grow and hone your craft. Okay. Number 7 is extremely important. You're gonna need money. You're gonna need money to create comic books. If you're not doing everything yourself, you're gonna need money, and it's not cheap. It kind of sucks to say, because if you really have the desire, and the only thing that's stopping you is money, it really sucks to say that it'll be hard for you to create something worthwhile if you don't have money, because unless you're drawing everything yourself, and writing everything yourself, and doing every part of the process yourself, you're gonna have to hire somebody, and you're gonna have to hire people of quality. You can't just hire anybody, because especially artists, because when it comes down to artwork, people judge a book by its cover when it comes to comics. So you're gonna have to pay up, and those guys don't run cheap. So you're gonna need money if you want to create comic books. And number 8 is extremely important as well. For number 8, you are going to need an audience. You're going to need people that are ready and waiting and willing to buy your stuff. They're feverishly waiting for the next thing you put out. And that takes time to build. So that goes back into patience. But it takes time to build an audience. You need to have a group of people in your ecosystem that you've been telling about your stuff for weeks, months, years, whatever amount of time you've been talking about it until you finish it. And they're waiting for you to drop your next thing. That is extremely important, because to say the least, what happens in your creative business is what you make happen. People think because if you build it, they will come, and they probably won't even know you're there. Okay, so you need to create an audience, and there are a million ways that you can create an audience. There are a lot of avenues that you can go down to create your audience. So just choose one and work hard to build it up. But you're gonna need an audience when you're making a comic book. So another thing that's important, number 10, what you're gonna need is marketing, because you have to market your stuff. Like I said before, if you think you're building it, you're going to build it, and they will come, and all you have to do is just put the comic book out, make a great comic book, and then that's the end of it. You will find yourself disappointed. You find yourself sorely disappointed, because you have to put yourself out there. You have to do cons. You have to get on the internet. You have to join groups, whether they're Facebook groups. You have to put yourself out there and get into the mix for people to know about your stuff. Number 11 is definitely very important. You are going to need support. And I'm not talking about support like support my stuff, like and follow, or retweet it. No, I'm not talking about that level of support. What I'm talking about is you need support in the sense that there's a lot of disappointment that comes with this space, especially the indie space. Okay, like there'll be a lot of wins, and there will be definitely a lot of losses. There will be ups, and there will definitely be downs. But support is like if you have people at home that's that stick behind you when things get tough, and when it seems like, hey man, I kind of want to quit this. Maybe I should do something else. Why am I doing this still? When it gets a little dark, to have that support system to help uplift you and push you to continue on is extremely important, because like I said, this is a marathon. Okay. And lastly, the last thing that you're going to need when you are creating a comic book that is very important is you are going to need time. It takes time to make these things. You can't make them overnight. You can't rush these things. These things, if you want to put out something of quality, it's definitely going to take time. You need time to write. You need time to review. You need time to edit. You need time to revise. You need time to develop. You need time. And, not to say that you can't work and create comics, because there are plenty of people out here that do the same thing. But sometimes the job will win. Okay. Sometimes the job will win, and you won't write something for a couple months because the job is just winning, and you have to survive. You have to pay. You have a family. You have responsibilities, and that is very important. And you have to take care of those things. So sometimes the job will win, and you just have to find the time to create these things and not give up on them. Even if you step away from it for a few weeks, and you come back and say, okay, let me get back to it. Let me put some more to it. Whatever. But you definitely need time to be able to create comic books. And those are the 12 things that you need to be able to create a comic book. So if you found this valuable, if you got some good nuggets from this and you feel like this helped you out a little bit, definitely consider subscribing, consider giving me a like, consider dropping me a comment and doing all that cool stuff that supportive people do, because that would be very helpful to me and I would love you forever for that. So thank you, and I can't wait to see you all on the next episode. Peace.